What's good everybody, it's Sean here, and I'm finally here to give you guys my review of the Aimé Dore New Balance 650R in this gray or silver colorway and this green colorway. Today's video, as always, is sponsored by the good people from Heffelux. Heffelux is my all-time favorite sneaker insoles, and they sell eTPU insoles, which essentially is the same material you'll find in Adidas Boost. So if you're looking to add some additional comfort inside your shoes, be sure to check out their website, which I've linked down below in the description box. You'll see they sell a variety of different insoles, so depending on the type of insole density and the cushioning setup you're looking for, whether that's for a pair of thick winter boots or for sneakers, you're going to find there's a suitable insole for everyone. So I've been a paying customer of Heffelux for years now, and I personally find them very comfortable. So if you guys want to check them out and try a pair for yourself, be sure to use the code SEANGO at checkout and get 15% off your entire purchase. So what started off as a pre-order for these shoes back in July of 2021, finally those pre-orders are being fulfilled, and I finally got both of these pairs in hand. Originally they retailed for a price of $165 US, which is the equivalent to roughly 210 Canadian dollars. Alongside this silver or gray colorway and this green color, there was also the navy blue colorway as well. But if you couldn't tell by now, these two colors were my favorite, and I decided to pass on the blues. So the New Balance 650R is a high top version of the 550 silhouette, and this was a marquee basketball sneaker for New Balance back in the 1980s. And just like what Aimé Dore did with the 550, really ushering it to the public and making it a very high demand shoe, let's see if Teddy Santis can do that same for this high top version as well. So for those of you guys watching wondering exactly what's the difference between the 550s and the 650s, well essentially what it comes down to is this top portion right here, and basically everything else is pretty much the same. So that ends my review. Thank you everyone for watching, and I'll catch you guys all in the next one. But seriously though, this 650R is pretty much identical to the 550, but I'll go through the details once again, so for those who don't own the 550, you'll be able to get a better look. So first off, here's a quick look at the box, and one of the main changes between the Aimé Dore 550s and the 650s is this box. So unlike the 550s where it's a very thin cardboard and the walls just collapse on themselves, these 650s come in a very sturdy and much stronger box, and it feels like much more of a heavy grade shoe box. But just like the ALD 550s, the colors of the box match the colors of the shoes, so in either case it's done predominantly in this yellow color, but it's complemented with the accent color of the shoe. So in this case we have the gray or silver color, and in this one we have green. And on the front of the box we have the style and size tag. So for the gray pair, the style code is BB650RA1, and for the green pair it's BB650RL1. So jumping straight into the details, for either pair the majority of the upper is constructed out of a smooth white leather. So on the toe box we have these 3 rows of perforations that cut diagonally, and overlaid on top we have an asymmetrical cut of leather, which also has a smooth finish to it. Right above this, right before the tongue, we have a layer of mesh, which is done in the accent color of the respective shoe. So for the silver pair, this is done in this gray color, and for the green pair, of course, it's done in green. Moving downwards, we have another overlay of leather, and we have the number 650 pressed on in their respective color. Underneath this, we have a secondary layer, which is also done in that same accent color, and the bottom portion of this leather panel is completely perforated. On the quarter panel, we have more of that smooth white leather, and we have this cutout which reveals the New Balance end logo, which is done in this cracked leather finish. And surrounding it, we have this outline of this cream colored leather. Moving downwards, we have an overlay of smooth leather done in that same respective accent color, and on both sides we have the New Balance word mark pressed on in this cream colored finish. Surrounding the bottom of the heel, we have another overlay of smooth white leather. We have the New Balance logo pressed on the right shoe and Aimé Dore branding on the left shoe. And above this, you'll see that accent colored leather. It wraps around the heel, and the upper portion of the shoe is completely covered in this off-white or sail colored mesh. On the bottom, we also have a rubber heel clip, which helps to give you added structure and support for the back end of the shoe. As for the laces, so these come with 3 different lace options. So the standard default lace is a flat white colored lace. Both shoes come with a secondary cream colored lace, and they also come with a third lace which matches the accent color of the respective shoe. Underneath this, we have a mesh tongue, and there's a rectangular tag stitched on top with Aimé Dore 650 branding, along with this basketball graphic with the New Balance logo. The inner collar of the shoe is lightly padded, and I have to say it's not as padded as the 550s were. But in terms of the insoles to me were exactly the same as the 550s. We have an ortholite dual density insole, so it gives you that added support underneath the heels especially, and we have Aimé Dore branding on one side and the New Balance logo on the other side. So the upper of the 650 sits atop this solid rubber cup sole, which is painted in this cream colored finish. In the middle we have the New Balance word mark along with the New Balance logo, and then flipping the shoe over to the medial side, you'll see that we have this exposed foam wedge in the middle, which is hidden on the lateral side and encased within this cup sole. And then turning the shoe over to the bottom, the outsole here is the same as the 550s, so it's done in a combination of this cream and this accent color. So for example, the green pair has a green rubber outsole, and for the silver pair, we have a gray colored outsole. So that breaks down the look and the construction of these 650Rs. And for those wondering about sizing, to me these fit exactly the same as my 550s, so whatever size you normally wear for that model, I'd stick with that same size for this one. So for me, I'm a true size 10, slightly on the wider side, and for both of these, I got these in a 9.5, which is a half size down, the same size I got in my Aimé Dore 550s, and they fit me perfectly. This shoe in my opinion runs a little bit long, so for people that stick true to size, which is what I did in my initial review if you watched that from years ago, but over time once I broke in the shoe, the heel slippage really started to bother me. So for me, going that half size down gives me more of a secure lockdown fit. It won't fit you great if you have really wide feet, but for narrow footers, normal width footers, or slightly wide footers, I feel like over time once you break in the shoe, that half size down will definitely fit you better. To give you guys a point of comparison, I also go a half size down in other New Balance silhouettes like the 992, the 990 V3, V4, V5. I stick true to size in a lot of made in UK New Balance models like most of my 991s, my 1500s and 1530s, along with some other New Balance silhouettes like the 997 and the 990 V2. Next up, in terms of the comfort, so the 650 feels just like the 550s, so in either case, it's a bit more of a heavier shoe, but I gotta say, the comfort is definitely there. The majority of that comfort is coming from that very well padded insole, but it's one of the most well cushioned insoles I've ever tried. You might have to break these in a little bit, but eventually the upper will definitely mold to your feet, and that coupled with the very soft insole, it feels like, for example, a much more cushioned Dunk or a much more cushioned Air Force One. So you still have a lot of ground feel, it feels very stable, but there is a heightened level of cushioning. Finally, in terms of the overall quality and the craftsmanship, so first off, material quality for this Aimé Dore collaboration, it felt just like the ALD 550s, so I gotta say the material quality was solid. The leathers definitely feel a step above the GR 550s, and I had absolutely no complaints with the material quality. However, I definitely had some issues with the craftsmanship. For the green pair, for example, I had some excess glue that was found throughout the shoe, and for the gray or silver pair, this is my biggest issue. On the right foot specifically, you can see on the heel, it's cut a little bit slanted, both in terms of the height of the shoe itself, and the gray and the white leather panels on the back were also slanted. I shot an email over to ALD, hopefully they can do something about this. If not, I guess I just have to live with it. In the grand scheme of things, it's not that big of a deal because I don't see my heels, but just knowing that it's not even definitely bothers me a bit. So for those of you guys who have this in hand, let me know in the comment section down below, how was the craftsmanship and build on your pairs? So with all that out of the way now, let's toss both of these on feet and I'll show you guys how these look. In summary, this is pretty much identical to the 550s, so if you're not totally in love with this silhouette, then I'd say just choose one or the other. Unless you're someone that's heavy on just collecting things, I don't really feel that it's necessary to own both, but I guess in a way it's the same thing as people who own the Chicago ones and the Chicago 1 lows too. And in terms of the three colorways, I think my favorite has to be the gray one, and number 2 obviously goes to the green, and the navy blue comes in at last. Either way, let me know in the comment section down below what you guys think about this Aimé Dore New Balance 650R. Of the three colorways, which of the three was your favorite? And what are your overall thoughts on this model? If you guys like this video, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet. You can follow me on Instagram at esco8, check me out on Twitter at sean.go, and visit my website at seango.ca. So until next time, thanks so much for watching. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video and hopefully it helped you in some way, and I'll catch you guys all in the next one.